Hello everyone, and welcome to another devlog for our game, Alpaca Rancher. We have been hard at work redesigning maps, adding new maps, designing and implementing new NPCs, drafting and fleshing out the main story quests, and polishing up systems. Oh, and adding a new one. We'll get to that later. Let's start with the new NPCs. We have designed around 16 new NPCs for the world that range from townsfolk, explorers and miners, lumberjacks, and even witches. We will more than likely add a few more. But for now, the world is feeling much more alive with just these few characters. Next, let's have a look at the new maps and the redesigned maps. We have been adding and adjusting to our maps ever since we made the first one, but we finally feel we are nearing the final version for all the main areas. We reworked the player farm so it is now much easier to navigate and to better use the space around the map for more buildable areas. More on the farm later. We have also completed the Crystal Lands map. This will be the next major area the player will be introduced to. The Crystal Lands is the main location where the League of Explorers have set up their camps while they research the minerals and ores they mine from the local caves. Speaking of caves, we have blocked out and begun to polish up the cave maps. These maps will require the use of a lantern to navigate, and will be the best place to mine for minerals and ores, as well as finding alpacas that love the low light of the caves. We have completed the first pass of the final zone in the game currently named the Enchanted Forest. This zone contains 2 more maps, one of which features a small beach area for those alpacas that like to relax in the warm sand and enjoy coconuts near the ocean. This zone still needs to be fleshed out more, with more scatter and NPCs, but we are liking the direction it's heading. Moving on to the farm, we have made a lot of progress on the player farm area. Along with the redesign of the map itself, we have also begun to implement upgrades for the buildings. We have designed the alpaca pen upgrades and are working to finalize the art for them. The player will be able to upgrade the alpaca pens to hold more alpacas and automate some of the caretaking activities. We have also completed the crop plots along with upgrades for them. Next, we have the new system that we briefly mentioned in the last devlog. We have added breeding into the game. This was something we wanted to have since the beginning, but never really got around to fleshing it out. To accomplish this mechanic, we added a new structure that the player can build on their farm, tentatively named the breeding pen. This building will allow you to combine certain alpacas together to make alpacas that are only obtainable through the breeder. There will be hints throughout the game as to what alpacas create these special alpacas, but it will mainly be up to the player to experiment and find out. There will also be special food that can be added to the breeder that helps increase spawn chances. If the player added 2 alpacas that do not make a special alpaca, they will just randomly create a baby of the same type as one of the parents. Quests. We have been spending a lot of time over the past few weeks writing the main story quest in dialogue. This is what we see taking up most of our time over the next few weeks. We don't want to spoil the contents of the story, so we hope when you finally get your hands on the game that you will enjoy the small storyline we have put together, bad puns and all. That being said, we are nearing the completion of the Alpaca Rancher project and are unfortunately finding it hard to make time for devlogs. We plan on putting our heads down to finish work on creating sound effects, music, updating the user interface, and generally polishing everything we can as best as possible. So hopefully the next video you see on this channel will be a launch trailer with a release date. We have really enjoyed sharing our progress with you, and hope that you enjoy the game once it's released. As always, thank you very much for following us along our journey to make our first commercial indie game, Alpaca Rancher. We hope you enjoyed it, and if you are interested in Alpaca Rancher, then please wishlist it on Steam to be notified of its upcoming release date.